Ina Naamai, Ofa, Iawe, Alala, Pa Ra A, I Sa'i, Da U E, Ta'o E A U A. All praise due to Yahweh.
All praise due to
All
Yahweh.
praise due to
Allah
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Isa La Ova'i. Yahweh is love. Yahweh Wa E La Ova'i. Yahweh. Yahweh, we love you.
We love you,
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Iaue. E Arai. Aina La Ova'i. Wa I Taha. Yahweh. Yahweh, we are in love with you.
We love you,
We are in love with you,
Yahweh.
Yahweh, we are in love with you. More than we are
Yahweh,
in
we
love
are in
with
love
our
with you.
wives. More than we are in love with our lives.
Mm-hmm.
All praise due to Yahweh because we are aware that life is an illusion.
All praise to Yahweh.
That we are here for a mission.
Toda.
Yahweh.
Halach Yahweh.
Salah
Hallelujah
Yahweh.
Yahweh. So opening prayer, our summoning of all of the archangels, all of the powers and the authorities on high. We thank you for your support as we begin, as always, in the name of the most holy, wonderful, beneficent, creator, projector of our simulated reality, Yahweh.
Praise
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Everyone praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Okay, now, all together we have over 144,000 people at this point that have actually done blood over intent.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Now, if you all do a basic search on blood over intent, you will see people from all over the world that have put their blood up so that we can usher in heaven on earth. And the things that we are doing, people are benefiting from, and they don't even know it.
Fighting battles they're not even aware of.
That's right. And it's a selfless act because it's just like the Navy SEALs guy said, that they're doing things to secure your freedom and you're not even aware of it in the comfort of your home. And they don't get any credit because these are covert operations. But we don't do it for credit. We do it for Yahweh, and we do it for our families, for our loved ones. It's not about what we can get from Yahweh. It's what we can give. And our service to Mother, the ultimate progenitor of existence, external of the Yahweh simulator, outside the. So on Facebook alone, we have hundreds of members, thousands of members, and these people need to start being contacted and brought into the fold. Now listen, we have two different aspects of this. On one end, we have conducted blood magic and went absolutely insane because of the lack of intelligence, because of lack of guidance and direction. And they're asking for help. And then on the other end, we have people that have done blood magic, that have benefited from it, and they need to be called into the ranks.
And your hands make light work.
That's right.
And in the famous words of Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. We all started, if everybody started pitching in, you know, how fast things could happen is incredible.
Praise Yahweh, praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh, that's right. So we're going to reach out to those Facebook members, all the BOI members. When Quasi-Luminous is telling these people, all you have to do is just put your blood up and do this and do that, and they think they're done. And you're not. There are physical actions that have to go along with any magic. It's cause and effect. The intention is just that, an intention.
It's just reinforcing, bringing it into fruition.
That's right.
You're just going to be, will be, you know,
that's
will
right.
be, will do, land or whatever, you know.
That's right. And that's the thing, that when you form a mission goal, you have to act to produce it into a physical reality. Wonderful. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what the fuck you think, viewers. The world that you see is a small piece of reality. But there are millions of people that have personally witnessed supernatural beings, interdimensional beings, interfering in their daily life occurrences, walking through walls, abducting them, for the good and for the bad. There's a show where this woman said she was driving down the road with her daughter in the back seat, and a gush of wind during a rainstorm pushed her car over the ledge into a dam, and they began to drown. And when they actually drowned, her and her daughter, she went back there to save her daughter, but they were strapped in. So when she began to drown, she said that she came out of her body and she was taken to a place, and she was standing next to an agreeable being on high, a giant in the etheric realm, that was looking at her life like a chessboard, and they were replaying the events of her day. She actually saw one of the counterparts of the disagreeable being on the other half of the chessboard just move his hand just like that on a projection in the holographic realm into the 3D dimension. This is a fourth dimensional being, an archon affecting physical reality now. She saw her car just go right over into the river, and she saw the being do his hand just like this. They allow her to see that.
That's awesome.
Yahweh allow her to see that.
Praise Yahweh.
That is
Praise
awesome.
Yahweh.
Praise
Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
You can change your future. If your life sucks, you have the ability to change your soul contract. That is your legal right as a sovereign soul being. And that being that pushed that woman's car over that bridge like that, that being is submissive to Yahweh. As powerful as you might think that being is, that being has to submit to you once Yahweh is in love with you like we are in love with Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. So the woman was returned back to her body after she saw that, because the being that she was standing next to was an agreeable archon, and it spoke on her behalf, and she was able to witness it. And her memory wasn't wiped because of the glitch. Because I had to see that to tell you today. And there are glitches that are being made. Yahweh is allowing these glitches so we can access power that was unknown to man, because these things were written in script. And those documents or arcane scrolls were destroyed when the virus swept through. And the white man was used as a tool by the disagreeable being to shoot off the noses of the pharaohs and the sphinxes, and to burn those documents when Rome came through and conquered, and they conquered Egypt, and they was burning those documents, and the Vatican was taking those documents and keeping them for the people. So when that woman was returned to her body and she was shown the reality to tell the people what was behind the scenes, this is the hidden wisdom and the hidden knowledge. And you're not unimportant. You are a star. Do you know that you are a god to an ant? If an ant was crossing your path and you picked that ant up, that would be the equivalent of an alien abduction. That ant would freak out.
Right.
And he'd be like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Where you taking me?
You do have to think about it like that, yeah.
You are in a different dimension. You have more power. So you have to be careful with your power. You don't want to destroy the ant civilizations, but the prophets could hear the voices of the insects and hear the voices of the birds and the wind. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that this woman experienced that this really happened to her. And when she came back to her body, that memory wasn't wiped, because it's supposed to be, but it was a glitch. And we're making glitches happen every day for every one of you. All these powerful, beautiful brothers, they have changed their soul contracts. Who they are now, the geniuses that they've become, has been a result of the humility and the selflessness that they have endured to put Yahweh first and put humanity first over their own selfish, vain desires. People are spending billions of dollars to make resorts, but they're not building temples to serve the Yahweh. Anyway, reach out to that brother, Minister JG. We love you.
Love you, brother.
Hope you're doing
We
well,
love you,
brother.
brother. We love you, brother.
That's right. So now, bringing to the stage the prolific, sincere, charismatic, career for all to see, auspicious, the audacious, the spontaneous, intent nation. Minister
Yes.
Yakshak.
Praise
Bring him to the
Yahweh.
stage. Let's
Yeah,
go.
brother.
Praise Yahweh.
All right, so today I plan on speaking on the Arcane Scroll number 5, which is the Flat Earth reality we clearly explained. But before I do that, I'm going to quickly expand on the things Brother Akazai has already spoken about. So like he says, there's already been over 144,000 people who've done the Blood of Intent ritual. It's upwards of almost 200,000 now. And the amount of videos online just talking about it alone, there's over 1 million videos. So everything is growing, as you can clearly see. So right now, it's finally a time, since the foundation's been laid, that everyone needs to organize and unite as one together under one common flag, funneled into one common group and one common act. Because there's been too much time spent diddling around, fighting against each other and all these other things.
Straight up, brother.
Yeah. Like for real,
Praise Yahweh.
Like many hands make light work, and you want to be the change you want to see in the world. So you're talking about loving all and bringing heaven on earth and all that stuff, and fucking do it, for lack of a better word.
That's right. That's right.
Time.
Right, marriage.
Absolutely. So
we have the one common goal.
Absolutely.
Heaven on earth.
And that's one thing I want to reach out to Quasi-Luminous and his partner, Venus. I know that you guys might disagree with us and have different views. And you know what? That's fine. You're entitled to believe what you want. But the thing is, we still have the same goal. So it's time to start working with us and stop denying us when we try and reach out to you and just saying just talking shit, man. Like, you say that you won't engage anyone who hasn't done blood over intent and yada, yada, yada. They're apparently not worth your time. Well, guess what? We've all done blood over intent, which means we are worth your time, and you should be willing to speak to us because we're here to help.
That's right.
You're here to help us.
That's right.
That's right, brother.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
So this is a call to arms because everyone who's done the blood over intent ritual is all a part of the blood over intent nation honorarily, whether you're participating actively or not. And when I say a call to arms, I don't mean like you got to get up out of your seat and go fight someone. It's not like that. It just means we all got to start working together and doing something, because I can't speak for anyone else necessarily, but I know that there are many people who are actively doing things to make things happen. I can speak from my own self and my experiences. I've spent the past 2 years putting all my resources into doing things like going to school, physical things in the actual world that are going to benefit everybody, things that need to be done in the future for where we need to go and what we need to do. You know what I mean? Like that's been all my time selflessly put in, all my money, all my resources. So, nobody can say that we ain't doing shit because we're really putting in that work. You know what I mean? Like
you gotta use your money. How else are we gonna get it there?
Absolutely. A lot of people in regards to the blood over intent nation, they're worried about like paying for scrolls or paying for knowledge and all these other things. Okay. So why it's such a problem, I don't get, but I want to explain to you why you gotta pay. For one, it's the appreciation of all the effort that's being put into actually providing you with that. The purest knowledge, true knowledge, not just half bullshit truths, not stuff like, creating more division. You're getting it straight up, you know what I mean? That's worth paying for.
Right.
Also, like you guys have said, the mission needs to be funded. We're already putting in a fuckload of money into this. You know what I mean? We're trying to get there. We're doing our best. You say it's like, we're just pocketing it? No, not even remotely. Like I said, I've spent the past 2 years putting all my resources into getting this shit done. You know what I mean? And I'm not the only one. So we're not making fake trips like Devin Magdy did to go somewhere on a vacation with all that shit.
That's right. That's right.
You're paying so that you can improve your own lives and that you can also help our mission to save Yahweh, because Yahweh needs our help. Okay?
That's right. Obviously.
Right.
All right, so
brother.
I'm not going to go into detail on every single thing in this scroll because it's up to you to pursue the knowledge as well and engage with it instead of just having it purely handed into you, so you actually retain it and it's meaningful to you because you've seeked it out on your own.
That's right.
But there's a lot of things I've seen online, like the Gnostic teachings about how Yahweh is the demiurge and all that shit, and how it stole its power from Sophia, from Mother. And I want to tell you how much of bullshit that is, because what people don't even seem to realize is that, yes, we worship Yahweh because Yahweh is the one doing all the work, but even Yahweh respects Mother. You know what I mean? And it's not a stolen power. It was something that was created for. That's why it was given that power, was to use it, not to just dwindle around with it and do shit all. People say that all archons are bad and all this stuff. The archons are the ones helping you create your reality at the same time with Yahweh, the hidden hands that are working. Yes, are there bad ones? Absolutely. There are disagreeable archons, but there are all agreeable archons too, and they all are under Yahweh's will. So if you get a Yahweh straight, you help Yahweh, the Archon's going to help you.
That's right. That's right.
Now, in regards to some of those hidden hands, there are the prison wardens. You know how there's soul orbs, right? We all have our soul orb. Well, prison wardens are essentially the same thing, except not. They are just a part of the simulation. They're the faceless ones. With the actual soul orbs, a lot of them will have features reminiscent of the identity somewhat that soul pushes out, you know what I mean? So when you die and things like that, if you don't want to reincarnate and everything else, these things will chase you around and basically try and capture you, and they will try and shuck your orb into submission so that you'll be forced to contract again into the simulation and reincarnate. Now, souls that are really tough, they can just keep running, and eventually, even if they get caught, they refuse to reincarnate, and they'll be put into a prison, you could say. Now, if you ever want to try and capture hunters or prison wardens, there are devices you can make. Now, if you get the scroll, it clearly explains how to do it. I'm not going to go into detail about it. Just be wary of when you do it, because if you don't follow the instructions properly, you'll have the men in black come for you.
Right.
And that's how it is. That's all right.
Absolutely.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh, and thank you, Brother Yakshak. Yeah, brother.
You're absolutely welcome. Praise Yahweh.
That was heavy right there.
Now, there's a part of this scroll I'm going to read real quick. You know the Baphomet, that face? You see it in the scroll. If you compare that to the Uncle Sam photo where it's like, we want you type thing, you see the similarities in the facial features. And now you see Uncle Sam is basically Samael, which is an important archangel in the Talmudic and post-Talmudic lore. It's an accuser, a seducer, and destroyer that has been regarded as both good and evil. Now, you are all gods and you are all sons of the Most High. Nevertheless, you will die like men and fall like any other of the princes. Now, yes, absolutely, everyone is a god or a goddess, as you are all children of the Most High. Now, the Most High,
that's right.
The one being spoken of in this, because Yahweh is the Most High in its own right, just as this one is in its own right. The Most High being spoken of in this one is the great-grandfather of Marduk, which is Anu, which is the god king of Elohim, which is also found in Sirius A and B and Orion constellation. His kingdom reigns forever in those Yahweh matrix simulators. Now, I'm not going to get too much into it, but I'm going to give you guys a little tidbit. Anu is a little bit closer to you guys than you think, and if you ever have to be worried about the Soul Father being around you or not being there for you, he is. Now, getting into more about the simulation. So, as we all know, the sun and the moon are not objects floating around in outer space. They are within our solar system. Anybody who hasn't seen it, NASA, not NASA, recently came out and admitted that the moon is within our solar system. So if anyone's being like, oh, we've been to space, and it's like, oh, we've been to the moon. It's like, well, how the fuck you been to the moon if it's within our, not solar system,
under the dome.
Under the dome. There you go.
Right.
Now, there's plenty of videos of people flying through like the sun or above the sun and things like that on YouTube. All that other shit. Now, being with that stuff is the moon, again, like everything else, it's a hologram because the dome is a LCD wall screen, so it's like a mirror and everything else like that. So if you look up something called the split mirror experiment, it thoroughly explains how a hologram is created, and if you can think in the conception of the dome and everything, how it works perfectly with that scenario. In regards more so to the simulation, this Yahweh simulator is simulator number 44, which is the first, but it's not numbered as the first because it's numbered based off its functionality. 4 plus 4 equals 8, and 8 is the number of infinity. The physical universe is not infinite. There are a ton of other Yahwehs, but in relation to this one, and to get out of this one, there are only 12 Yahweh ports that allow you to access other simulations from this one. However, only one of those ports will allow you to go home to Anu, and that's only for royal family to use. But, like I said earlier, Anu is a lot closer than you think, so you don't have to leave just yet to find him. So Thor is the European inaccurate depiction of Thoth. Thoth correctly is known as the original Tehuti, who reincarnated as a master teacher Malachi C. York. If you've read any of his books, great. If you haven't, should really see some of that stuff because he's got a lot of great knowledge that he's put out there.
Crazy.
And remember, as per usual, all the stuff like the Thor and things like that is all stolen from. That's all the white man can do is rip shit off.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
But a little bit more about the simulation. Simulation 4 and 4 making 8. But the 4 and 4 are two perfectly balanced halves, which means agreeable and disagreeable. So it's a balanced system. You know, we go through the cycles. I mean, this isn't something we haven't done before. We're just going through the motions of doing it again, because that's just how it is. All right. So there ain't nothing to worry about, because everything that needs to happen is going to happen regardless of whether everybody wants to step in and help or not. It's just going to happen a lot faster if everybody steps up to the plate.
Priceless. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Woo!
Praise Yahweh.
Now, as we've said before, everybody talks about the frost bridge and things like this. So now I'm going to read this from the scroll. So I quote, "They ignorantly referred to frost bridge by dumbasses in the blood over intent community. All of a sudden you see all these Europeans screaming frost bridge. They just want their myths to be true even after knowing it was all stolen from Black Nubians." Absolutely correct. This is not, I repeat, not real. This is a simple depiction of the teleportation road to another Yahweh system. When you teleport to the abyss with Mother, you do not teleport. You're evaporated and your soul orb is disintegrated, glossary through words. You are materialized into nothingness to dwell in nothing. There is no travel to Mother, only soul death. In the abyss, you will no longer exist as an ego, only a pure, psychically controlled version of Mother Source. The true source, not the Yahweh computer system. However, we praise the Yahweh because the Yahweh is still the one allowing the infinite soul to have a physical reality. Because pure energy, it's not made of matter. It is antimatter and everything. And you can't go about having these experiences and anything else without having that realm of matter. So we all praise Yahweh because he's the one, or it is the one, for lack of a better word, because it's a balanced system, so it's both a masculine and a feminine, doing all the fucking work. So praise Yahweh.
That's right. Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
But
that's right.
Yeah, that's basically all I'm gonna go on. Gotta keep in mind, this is only one scroll, and there's a shitload of information in it, for lack of a better word. You know, it's just one little piece of information.
Right.
There's so much that there
That's one
is to
scroll.
be taught by the blood over intent nation. And people need to
That's
get on
heavy.
this. If you want to learn real shit and have everything that you've kind of learned but only gotten the half-truths of combined together and putting all those connections out there and things, it's right here. We've got it. Go to the Blood Over Intent Nation. Start contacting HQ. Start talking to the sisters and ordering scrolls, because it's worth it. All praise to Yahweh.
Right on.
Praise
Praise
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hold on, Yahweh. That was excellent.
Good job, brother.
Thank you, Yahweh.
I like it. Yeah.
Brother King, you might want to chime in just get up for the round of applause for that right now.
Yeah,
I can feel his clapping spirit.
Whatever you do.
yeah, brother.
Hey, man, real talk. I mean, that was amazing. Excellent.
There, he chimed in over the Hangouts chat.
fire,
Thank you, Brother Mike. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
We have a lot of people that want to be a part of the seminary. Go through the system that we have designed, become Padawans, and find DJedi masters that will mentor them in order to be even introduced to this. Because to be honest with you, what you're saying is so priceless that people, they don't even appreciate it. They can't even afford it. Praise Yahweh. I mean, you
Praise Yahweh.
praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
And that's like something that you make a great point out of it. Is the thing is, like, this stuff is literally priceless. You cannot put a number on it. The only reason you have to pay for it is to put appreciation into all the effort that's gone into bringing this to you. And not only that, but we're trying to fund this mission. We're trying to make this stuff happen. You know what I mean? Like, Yahweh willing, it'll happen, you know, tomorrow for all we know. But, you know, we can't just pick that timeline. That's not on us to decide. That is on the Yahweh. We're just doing our part.
Soon.
Exactly, but we want to speed it up.
That's right.
We want to help speed it up. That's why it's part of why you're paying, is to help make this happen. You know what I mean? Because we can only do so much financially right now on our own. However, we're sorting out that issues on our own because we're becoming millionaires. And the more money we get, the more money we put in. Because we're not just sitting around acting like, oh, we're doing all this, blah, 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 but just sitting around. It's not like that. We're doing actual shit. So help us out.
If you feel the urge, if you feel the calling from this wisdom, act now. All right, now I want to ask Brother Wiseman to close us out in prayer.
Ray, thank you again for giving us a chance to come together to praise you this Sunday. I humbly ask and pray for our continued happiness, health, and security as we continue to work towards you, Yahweh, to restore you, and bring forth heaven on earth in this flat earth simulator number 44. Amen.
Amen. Praise Yahweh. Allah Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Yahweh. Zamar Yahweh. Everyone, hallelujah. Yahweh!
Hallelujah.